In Costa Rica, vote counting is still underway, but it looks like Laura Fernandez, the ruling party frontrunner, has secured a commanding lead in the country's presidential election. With partial results coming in from around two-thirds of Costa Rica's polling stations, Fernandez looks to have secured the presidency. Now, Costa Rica has long been viewed as a beacon of stability in a volatile region, but is now grappling with a surge in violent crime. And Fernandez is running on a platform to continue the politics of the outgoing president, right-wing populist Rodrigo Chaves. Let's speak now to DW reporter Jules Giessler, who's lived in Costa Rica and can give us a bit more insight. Tell us about the vote so far and what we know.
So what we know so far is that the voter participation was higher than 4 years ago. So we've seen like around 69% at the moment, was substantially higher than 4 years ago. What also shows that Costa Ricans actually really cared about these elections. We know that a total of 20 candidates were running for the top job. So the electoral landscape was very fragmented, but Laura Fernandez, as you just mentioned, is taking a lead at the moment, quite a substantial one, but it's still not over. And I think this is important here. What we need to mention is that the candidate needs to get at least 40% after all votes are counted, and then the election is over and the person is president-elect. If the person cannot secure 40%, then the two top runners are going to go into a runoff on the 5th of April.
Right. And so Laura Fernandez, tell us more about her and, you know, what she stands for.
So Laura Fernandez is a 39-year-old political scientist. She was, or is, Chief of Staff under Rodrigo Chaves, the outgoing president in Costa Rica at the moment, and she is his protege. So she's going to continue, if elected, his line of politics, so very hard stance on security policies, she and anti-establishment rhetoric. She is inspired by Nayib Bukele, so the El Salvadorian president, who is also a very tough stance on organized crime. And Bukele apparently was quite present also in the run-up to the elections. He was just in Costa Rica a couple of weeks ago, laying the foundation for a mega prison that is modeled like the model in El Salvador. So Laura Fernandez is going to go into this direction. And we need to mention also that Chavez was quite popular among Costa Ricans, because Costa Ricans were saying like he's the first president who actually says how reality looks like. And she wants to continue this and maybe even override the judiciary. But here we need to see if they can secure the votes in Congress also. And
what are these the issues that were on the minds of Costa Ricans going into the vote?
Absolutely. Security was the issue. There were also other issues, but security was the top priority. So we do see a growing insecurity. In the last 3 years, we've seen growing homicide rates in the country. So Costa Rica, for a long time, has been, as we said, this beacon of stability. It's been called the Switzerland of Central America. It's been the paradise for tourists and the like. And it's this whole round like a peaceful country. Pura vida is the motto of the country. But we see that this has changed in recent years. We've seen a spike in violent gang crimes related to drug trafficking, and see that Mexican and Colombian cartels are actually having territorial fights on Costa Rican ground. So we do see that whoever's going to win these presidential elections will need to deal with the growing insecurity one way or the other.
Okay. DW reporter Jules Giessler, thank you for that insight.